What's up, fanboys and fangirls? It's another episode of TV Talk, and we're here to talk Watchmen. I'm excited. My name is Luke, Mr. Tyler.
Beautiful Brett.
What's up?
Had to drop the last name for this one.
Yeah, why not? Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple.
I should have dropped the Mr., I guess.
No.
Oh,
No.
no, I can't. It'd be
Yeah.
wrong.
The flow wouldn't be there. We can't do that.
It would be wrong. You can't do it.
So first off, Watchmen on HBO.
Yes.
This episode 1,
Yes.
longest title of an episode like I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
I think
Pretty sure.
they're all that way.
Really?
The second episode is a long title as well. I don't know if it's going to be like a thing for them for the show or just the season or whatever.
It's fine except from the thumbnails. I've had to just change to a S1
yeah.
E1.
Yeah.
Great title, though. It's Summer and We're Running Out of Ice. I was a big
It
fan
is a
of the
good
title.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know really how it fit into the show at all, but I did like it.
Yeah.
But yes, we are here to talk Watchmen, Episode 1, the series premiere. We are doing spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, you should leave. Watch it and then come back and discuss with us. But why don't we kind of dive into this thing, because I'm really curious to hear what you guys thought, honestly.
This was way more intense than I thought it would be on a human level, because I think we think Watchmen were like superhero, bad kind of vigilante superhero, like a little more like the boys superheroes, and we don't get that, and that's fine because we're getting to see the world
How it would really be
around that. And I think opening with the Tulsa massacre was like a really bold choice, and I'm glad. I had just recently learned about that, honestly, like earlier this year, about that event. Being from the Midwest, I think it hits kind of close to home, is like, oh, like people are terrible, but people were really terrible.
Yeah.
And I think that really set the stage for the episode.
Yeah. I had kind of gone into this. I'm a big fan of the Watchmen story. And I'm not a huge fan of political things, but I knew that this would be a political show. I knew that's what we were going to get. And I had wondered what they would use as their basis. And nothing is more appropriate to right now than race relations and policing.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of kind of saying hey, this is what we're going to be. This is your chance to get off or get on.
Yeah.
And I'm on. I'm in it. I loved it.
I'm with you in both what things you said, with just how the show was, but also not really sure when politics a lot of times get thrown into a story, and a lot of times it's just thrown in there and it's not well done. But not in this, man. It really sets the stage for it well, and it's really intense, and it's done super well.
Yeah.
And it drives the story already. Just in the first 10 minutes, you're like, okay. I have no idea what this could possibly be, but sign me up. I was sold on this show instantly.
Yeah.
The very, very haunting opening.
Yeah. The opening made me think I was watching the wrong show.
Yeah,
I turned it on and I was like, did I click on the wrong thing? Because I watched it after it aired or whatever, and I was like, did I accidentally start the wrong show? What is this? And I was like, this is good. I mean, whatever it is. And then of course, it goes on. You're like, oh yeah, no, this is Watchmen. So I thought that was cool. I haven't seen a show that has done that before. And I was kind of like what you said. I didn't know where we were going at the beginning, but I'm happy with how we got to where we went.
Yes.
And I'm really curious to see where we're going moving forward. But there's other things I'm sure we can dive into as well.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the plot of this first episode. We have kind of the intro with the actual massacre, and then we jumped to like I don't know, what was it, like 10 years later or something. I don't recall exact. Oh no, it was much later.
It was
than that.
way,
Yeah, it's
it was
present
like,
day.
it's like present day, isn't it?
Yeah.
100 years. Almost.
Where that dude at the end says he's
105.
He's probably 8 or so
Yeah.
less at the beginning. So
Yeah.
maybe like a 90-ish year jump.
Yeah. So we have a huge time jump, and we get to Regina King and her character, like in a classroom, kind of again referencing some of the history, but then that quickly turns, and we learn that she's not quite who she appears to be. What did you guys think of her character?
Love it.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Everything about the character is great.
Yeah. I love the way she looks. I love her acting. Her costume is freaking insane.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I thought all the costumes were pretty cool.
I love her like the ambiance she gives, like just like with her family is really good, but like when she's like being tough with her boss, or when she just is beating the crap out of the racist people, like it's awesome. But actually, like when I rewatched it today, and I was like, when she's just walking up to the bakery and it has that sweet music, just boom, boom. She has this really cool walk.
She has the super vigilante walk down
Yeah.
to like a T.
And
No,
with
I
like
agree.
her cape dress
Trench coat thingy?
trench coat flowing behind. It looks so cool, man. Looks so cool.
Simple but effective.
Yes.
And man, there's so much to say.
So especially in this episode, kind of that other half, we have her character, and then we have Don Johnson as her Judd, the sheriff or police commissioner, chief, chief of police. How'd you guys feel about Judd?
Who's the actor that plays him?
Don Johnson.
He's incredible. Like, I thought he was so good. Like, I was so sold on him. I was like, man, this guy's awesome. I can't wait to see how this is going to go this season. And then
Boom, dead.
obviously he dies at the end, but I was like, man, that is a really big wasted opportunity for him, because I was really looking forward to it. And I saw some stuff on Twitter. People were thinking that maybe he was a character from the original and he was undercover and hiding, and I was like, that'd be interesting, but obviously not now because he's super dead.
Super dead.
But no, I thought he was really good. I liked his role.
Yeah.
I liked everything he had to do in the episode, and I feel like he'll be the catalyst for Regina King's character moving forward.
Yeah.
Because they obviously had a very deep connection somewhere along the line, and I'm sure we'll learn more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Like, I thought he was fantastic.
I love the scene where it's during the raid, and he's like up, kind of overseeing in the, I don't know what even to call it,
In the Archimedes
ship,
ship. Yeah.
right? And the what are they called? The cavalry,
Seventh
Cavalry have a plane, and then he's just like, oh no, we're getting these SOBs.
Yes.
Because his pilot's like, we can't take it. He's like,
Doesn't matter. We're taking him.
and I love that attitude. Even like once they crash, he gets up and he's like, you okay? And there's just that camaraderie that like,
And kind of like,
oh, I'm kind of bummed that we don't get more of that.
and I'm sure we'll kind of mention this throughout, because I talked about it a little bit with Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting, like, in this really cheerful moment after
that
bad
fight.
situation,
Yeah.
I was just like, who's getting sniped?
Yep.
Yes.
It's like somebody's getting
my
sniped.
Gosh.
I thought for sure there was at least one scraggler that was going to be out there and kill somebody.
Yeah.
But
And I thought that several times throughout the episode.
Agreed. There were a couple moments that it's like, oh, there's gonna be a bullet that just comes through the window.
And that's just a testament to how well they like built tension throughout the episode. Like, they make you think like nobody's safe, and maybe that's a product of HBO and like how it's been, historically.
Game of Thrones fault.
But like, no, I just thought like the way everything was paced and laid out, it built tension in scenes you wouldn't expect it to be there, and I thought that was really cool. The dinner scene especially.
Yeah.
You kind of talked about that the other day, but I'm curious to see how insane this show gets going forward, because I thought it opened up pretty crazy, but then it kind of evened out.
It's like I feel like parts of it are so grounded and normal, and then you have Night Owl's styled ship, and you have squids falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, there's moments where you're
So it's like, oh yeah, this is not a normal TV show.
Right.
This is a weird sci-fi universe.
right, like there's moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is a comic book thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's also times where you're like, yeah, this is a social commentary on our world right now, and I just think that's so well done and so well balanced throughout the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're gonna see more of those
Yes.
watch batteries?
Oh yes. I imagine. Well.
So, as someone who hasn't read any of the comics or graphic novels or whatever there is out there on the Watchmen, I have no insight into what those may be playing into. I just know one of the themes, especially the marketing, was the TikTok.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, after the dinner scene, Regina King is talking to Don Johnson, and they're talking about the batteries are taken out, and he's like, "Oh, they're making a cancer bomb." In Watchmen, one of the things that Ozymandias does is he makes everybody think that Dr. Manhattan is giving everybody cancer. So I think there's kind of a connection
A
there.
parallel in some
Between
ways.
what the 7th Cavalry is trying to do.
Yeah. It might be a scare, but it could also probably just be like a cancer bomb.
Yeah.
They don't really seem like very nice people. So.
I was really
Bold take!
hot take. Not hot take. That should be very clear.
Yeah, very evident.
And I like they sold me on that group really quickly with the not only the it's not the cold open. The cold open's the massacre, but then with the very next scene with the cop pull over who gets killed, and then also their video that they put out to the police
with the spokesman or whatever. Yeah,
like that was all done really well.
Can we talk about the traffic stop scene? To me was just like it's such a, to me that was such a surreal scene because like everybody knows what's going on in the US, and I don't feel like a gun having to be checked out at a traffic stop is that far away from reality at this point. And so like that scene, like I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
he's gonna get killed because of this.
Yep.
And I was like, this is not good. And then of course obviously he gets shot, and you're like, oh man, it's scary to me that we're like that is probably a real idea that's been passed around behind closed doors, and I just thought that was so well done. Another thing in that scene that in the whole episode, I was a huge fan of the color palette.
Yeah.
And their use of the color yellow. Like there's so many scenes where like there's yellow headlights on a car against a black backdrop, or the masks on the cops, which look incredible. It's so cool. But like, because the yellow and black comic book of the Watchmen is so iconic, to do it in the show and like actually be able to see it, I thought was just so awesome.
And I'll like, just to give more props, that could be like the yellow masks could be so corny, but it's anchored in a reality in the show that makes it completely believable. And I like, after I heard the reasoning, it's like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
Makes sense. And I never questioned it again. And it is a really cool visual.
Yeah. I remember when we saw the trailers, we were like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of looks cool. Wonder what the heck that is.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you're right. It is very believable. It fits and it works very well within the show. Do we want to talk about Jeremy Irons?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk
that
about
was the weird part for me.
Yeah, you probably
Again,
have no idea what's going
not
on.
he's probably
knowing
like,
anyone,
what?
I'm just like,
Man, should we tell him who we think that is? I guess he wouldn't really care,
Think or
so-
no?
Yeah, I guess we
know. I mean, his name is very well documented.
Yeah.
go ahead and
And
tell
they
me.
mentioned
They've
him
never
some-
really released it, though.
It's on IMDb, and they have all the news,
IMDb.
and they have all the newspaper articles in the show talking about Veidt.
Yeah.
So, he's actually Ozymandias. That's,
Okay.
Yeah. He's Adam Veidt. I can't say it.
Veidt.
Veidt. He's kind of the mastermind behind everything bad that happens in the book.
Or the hero, depending on who you are reading it.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's
It doesn't surprise me. He gives off very creepy vibes.
Yeah, he's a weird cat. He's a weird guy.
In his two scenes he has.
He got 2 or 3, I think. Yeah, a couple.
it was just
I guess-
he had the thigh massage scene.
I mean, it's all
And
one
then the-
sequence.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right, one extended
Okay, yeah.
sequence with
Okay, yeah.
multiple scenes in it.
Yeah, his stuff was weird. And I liked it.
Yeah, I know. I
I didn't mind it. Jeremy Irons is a good enough actor that
Right.
pull it off.
Especially since like we kind of know who that is. Like it's like, oh, what the heck is this all gonna be?
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
every time he's on, like he'll be on screen this season until it's revealed. We'll be like, so what's he actually up to?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what is the 7th Cavalry to him? Like that's all I can think about because
I'm like wondering if they're even connected at all.
I would think they are based on just him, but it wouldn't surprise me if the writers give us a left turn, like out of left field. They're nowhere near each other, and it's just kind of a separate thing that's happening.
Because I
over
mean,
here.
at this point, the 7th Cavalry just seems like a crazy cult that took Rorschach's journal and took it.
to a different extreme.
They took it to an extreme and they took it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never compromise. Well, you took that a little in the wrong direction. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Veidt also in Watchmen, he creates a giant squid.
Hence
And he-
hence the squids falling from the sky.
Yes. So that's a connection somehow. And I'm wondering if that's a side effect of him teleporting that squid in.
Oh.
And that squid in Watchmen kills 3 million people. And it ends the Cold War because Russia and United States are like, we gotta stop
Use
these
our rockets.
aliens.
we gotta work together.
So that's essentially how he wins in Watchmen.
Yep.
But that squid stuff, like, honestly, I didn't see that coming at all.
A little
No.
gross. A little gross.
Yeah.
So before the scene, I saw the poster in the classroom. Did you see the Anatomy of a Squid poster
Yeah.
on the wall?
Oh, I didn't pick
And I
up
saw
on
that and I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's a cool little
That's a
Easter
cool
egg.
Easter egg.
And then like it started raining squid and I was like,
What the?
Maybe not so
Oh.
much of an Easter egg.
they're going there. Like we're going to get something related to
And
that.
it clearly happens a lot because they have little
they have the
squeezies made for
sirens.
it, and they also have a sanitation department devoted to just cleaning up nasty squid goo.
Yep.
And they have the sirens
Yeah.
for when
Warning.
the squid rain starts.
It's like probably more common than like a tornado in the
Yep.
Midwest. Like,
Oh, also so cool that it's in Tulsa.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
that's very cool.
In a world when every comic book takes place in New York
Yeah.
in a different part of the world, it's nice that they brought it back to like a small town kind of. I mean, obviously Tulsa's not a small town, but by comparison,
Right.
So
Another thing, I thought the action was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about Regina King and her character's costume, and I just think how it moves when she moves, or her stunt double, whoever's doing it, doesn't matter. It's all really good and really believable. There's the one, I guess
The cow scene.
the cow scene. Oh my gosh, so gross. It was like,
awesome.
this is
that
awesome,
was
and I feel
good.
like it was like a little disgusting. But
Yeah,
yeah.
just seeing those. I bet PETA hated that, man. Like, those cows were real.
one scene we haven't talked about yet, and it's probably the
My favorite
most
scene.
the most visually stunning scene in the whole episode was the interrogation,
Yeah.
where they get in like this little capsule, and it kind of reminds me of like a panoramic theater.
Also, a character we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call him Mom. What's his actual name in the show? Do you know?
I don't know. They really have not.
Looking Glass.
Looking Glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a dope name.
That is dope. I feel like they haven't gone into their names
No.
at all.
And I'm sure we'll get a character-centric episode about each one at some
Yeah,
point.
I think so. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
when Looking Glass, a.k.a. Mom from Holes, is in the interrogation room, and they're like showing all the pictures, and it's like bouncing off of his looking glass mask. I don't know what to call that.
Mirror
thing.
mask?
Mirror
yeah.
Mask.
I thought that scene was incredible, and it was cool to kind of get a Rorschach-esque character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hoping he is that. This show's Rorschach, like he's the guy that wears the mask, has like the really weird outlook on everything, and kind of drives you the viewer. But we'll see. I think it'll be more Regina King's character. I think she's going to be the focal point, but I would like to see some more of him.
Oh yeah.
His look was incredible. I thought just the interrogation that he gave to the 7th Cavalry dude was really good.
Really
like it was
good.
really intense, and plus with the really cool music. I loved the music in the show. Like just this scene just like driving forward and you're just going, oh my gosh, what the heck are they doing? Like, oh, they're gonna get this dude. And then like it turns out like he's just like looking at his eyes to see when they dilate at the Rorschach masks or the racist questions.
Yeah.
Just so they're like, yeah, he's 7th Cavalry. He's dirty.
he's an awful person.
So let's go beat the crap out of
Also,
him.
quickly followed up by a really cool callback to Rorschach killing the guy in the bathroom with the blood coming out from under the door.
Yep. Love that.
I'm trying to look.
I don't love killing. I love the reference.
The visual reference.
Are you looking something up?
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I found
That's what it was.
really interesting. So in Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan wins the Vietnam War for the U.S. And I can't remember if it was in Watchmen or not, but Regina King is born in Vietnam. And then the teacher asks her, was that before or after it was a state?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, man, it's like a U.S. state. Like, that's weird. Like, and then also a reference to Watchmen when she's going to the bakery. There's a dude dancing with a sign. In Watchmen, it says, the end is nigh. It's Rorschach. And this one, it says, the future is bright.
Oh.
That's awesome.
And then last thing that I was kind of like, what the heck does that mean? Was when Judd is talking to Regina King. He's like, oh, did I authorize the weapon usage too quick? Are we going to be the next Oregon? It's like, what? What the heck happened in Oregon? Where are they going? I've got family in Oregon, man. Like, I was like,
Need to know.
Like, they're just all these little questions now that I got in my mind that I want answered.
And I'm sure we'll learn more.
Oh, yeah.
So something that's super interesting, and this is not, you were talking about the music.
Yes.
Do you know who did the soundtrack for it?
I know one of them's Trent Reznor.
Yeah, 2 members of Nine Inch Nails did the music for this.
Nice.
That was, I guess, so when they were making the show, Damon Lindelof was like, yeah, there's nobody else but those 2 that are going to do it. And so they ran with it. And I thought the music in this was incredible.
It was really good.
Like, I was trying to find the songs for it.
Yeah.
To listen to it.
Probably won't be released for a good while.
They're going to release 3 volumes, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But, sorry.
That's a lot of music.
That's a lot of volumes. Oof. But,
I've kind of exhausted my thoughts. Do we have any thoughts about future? Like,
so, I have 2 questions.
Yep.
First question, Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character. Where do we think he goes? Because right now he's just kind of Regina King's husband. Do you think that's where he'll stay, or do you think he'll become a vigilante like the rest of them?
Eventually vigilante would be my guess. Maybe not. Maybe near
not this season.
The end of the season type of thing.
Okay.
Something happens to their daughter. They have a daughter, right?
They have a couple kids.
2 daughters,
2 daughters.
and a son.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I think.
I wasn't
think
paying.
you're right.
I wasn't
I
paying
think they
close
have-
enough attention
I
at
think
that
they have 3
at that
kids.
dinner scene. Okay.
Because they have the one who beat up the bully.
Right.
That scene was awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. They do have 3.
And then
Little
2.
girl was watching Squids, and another one was still at school.
Okay.
So they have 3
So they have
kids.
3. My guess is something happens to one or more of the kids, and that triggers him to
Go off.
That'd be my hot take for the end of the season.
He definitely did not hesitate to take the gun.
No.
And it did not look like he was afraid to
Was
use it.
thinking that too, and I think her story that she tells in school might be his story as well.
Oh.
But she's still out there.
And he's
but
retired.
he's at
kind
home.
Of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her bakery is just the front.
Yeah.
It's her bat cave.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna have a bat cave.
And then I guess my next question, I could think of another one too.
I have a question.
Are you gonna ask about the old guy?
No.
Okay, I won't ask about that either. We'll just see how that plays out. But my question, like going forward, like does this feel like a show that could be a multiple season effort to you guys?
Yeah.
I think it would be good as a one and done.
I think it would make a very
I won't.
interesting
You know what? I
one
won't
and done.
answer that yet because I don't know how this season is ended.
Right. I feel like this would be such just an awesome, just limited series and done. But I think it'll end up.
You know what
going
would
longer.
almost be cool is if it was a little more anthology and each season
Is a
was
different
a
location?
different location.
That's what I hope they do.
Even
would
if
be
it was
cool.
like linear time, so like the events of season 2 take place after the events of season 1, it's just a different area. So maybe there are still things that have changed the world.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just carry over Vite
Yeah,
throughout.
right. Have some sort of thread.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But I just don't want them to run it thin. I'm already in love with the show. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
my issue.
I guess my question is, it's not really related to really the Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but Robert Redford is president currently in Watchmen, HBO series.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Redford retired from acting. Is he going to come back
For the show?
for the show? Is he going to be the president? Is he going to show up?
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Because he did Old Man with a Gun and Endgame were his last thing. Oh, spoilers for Endgame.
Everyone in the world's seen it twice.
And he's
so
done. Yeah, that's true. So I thought that'd be really cool if he started showing up as president, or like he's up on the TV. Or
I was gonna say
He can come in and film a couple
that's gonna
B-roll
be a
things and be
super
done.
easy check.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about what all this Redford stuff is. People seem to hate him. Like, what's a Redfordation?
Mhm.
I don't know. The kid got punched for it. But
Yeah.
Like what the heck does that mean?
I kind of took that as like a welfare thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
repredations where
Yeah.
like because
Yeah.
you've been wronged in the past, we're going to, reimburse that either
Okay,
voluntarily or via land acquisition or some, in some way. And
They just put a pun on it.
yeah, basically. Well, depending on who you are, like that may have been more or less the slurred term for it because everyone kind of gave him a dirty look when he said it.
Yeah, son calls him racist too.
Yeah.
So
But yeah. I don't have any questions. I'm just like in it.
Did you think about it a lot after you watched it?
Um,
Because it made me like all day.
I want to
Monday.
rewatch it. I watch it over my lunch hour.
You want to watch it on TV?
I want to watch it like on the TV, like not like distracted with eating or anything.
Right.
how did it make you feel like watching it, not reading Watchmen?
Yeah, that's a good
You've
question.
seen the movie?
Yes.
Did you like the movie?
It's grown on me over time. I didn't like it at all when I first saw it, but I think now
It's because Zack Snyder's a genius.
no.
Everybody knows all of Zack Snyder's are only good 5 years later.
Zack Snyder is good at
Oh, it means Justice League in what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Or something?
So here's the deal. Zack Snyder, I think, is
Never?
really interested with deconstructing superheroes, which lends itself really well to Watchmen. The problem was, I think Watchmen was just too early. Like,
Yeah.
if his version of Watchmen came out now, I think we'd be like, oh, we've seen so many
movies,
like
yeah.
this is a hot, interesting take. But I just don't think I or most people were ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
2008? I think so.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, no, it's grown on me. I certainly still don't know that much about the world outside of that movie.
Yeah, because this show is a sequel to the graphic novel, not the movie. Because
movie.
the endings are quite different.
Yeah.
There's no squid in the movie, obviously.
Obviously. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think that it did a good job of world building in this first episode while
And you're
giving
not
us
going,
characters
"What?"
Yeah.
and mysteries. Lindelof, I think, does a really good job of setting up that kind of like intrigue. We'll see if he can
Make it pay off.
make it pay off. But yeah, no, I was very not pleasantly surprised because I wasn't really surprised I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly entertained.
I wasn't surprised I enjoyed it, but I was surprised that I loved it and couldn't stop thinking about it, and I had to watch it again before we did this review because it was so good. Like, if every episode is as good as this one was, best show of 2019. Like,
Yeah. Definitely has the potential.
Definitely has the potential.
I didn't know what to think about it because I didn't think the marketing and trailers leading up to it really gave you a whole lot. And I love the Watchmen story, and I like the movie, and I was like, I'll probably like the show too. But then I watched it, and I was like, oh, I did not plan to love this show. Like,
yeah.
it's really good. I'm looking forward to week 2.
Yep, me too.
And we hope you are looking forward to week 2. We'll see you back here next week, hopefully.
Yep.
For another TV Talk.
TV Talk, Watchmen episode 2.
Woo-woo. Until then, let us know what
title.
you thought of the series pilot, episode 1, in the comments.
Yep.
Or hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at @WhatTheFanboy and yell at us there about
Your favorite panda mask.
Yes, Panda.
Panda.
Also, if you first time on our videos or channel, we have a live show on Monday nights at 8 Central Standard Time, and it also goes on Apple and Google Play as a podcast. Just look for What the Fanboy. Check those out.
Yeah. Until next time.
See ya.
See ya.
See you guys.